Hello everyone, this is Adris here and I'm back with another MERN stack application project. And in this project we are going to make this party RSVP app with authentication, which means instead of making a single video project, this is going to be a series of video project, because I'll be covering a lot of things in this project. Things like context API with React hooks for our front end, which is going to be a React application, and we will be using something like jsonwebtoken for authentication in our backend. So there will be a lot to do in this application and a lot to learn. So this will be a slightly longer project. Okay, so let me just quickly walk you through what I'm going to make. So as I said, this is going to be a project with authentication, which means we can register the user, we can log in the user, and then we can use our application afterwards. So I'm gonna give you a quick example here. So I'm gonna use a user which already exists. Okay, so first I'm going to put a wrong password in the second one. So it's gonna say the password does not match. So if it does, it's gonna say the user already exists, because it won't registered another user with the same email. Okay, and if we provide a wrong email, it's gonna say provide an email, because the email is not correct. Okay, so with that, I'm not going to register another user, by the way, because we already have too many registered. I mean I have users already, so I'll use them instead. So now I'm going to, so we can, by the way, we can switch okay, from here and from here as well to log in to sign up. Okay, so here I'm going to use a different user, which is test@test.com, and then if I log in, it's gonna, here on the top it's gonna say hello guest, because I put for this test@test.com I put the name for user guest, so this is why it is showing hello guest. Okay, so next we have our application, which here we have a form. With this form we can add a user, say new guest, maybe not user, sorry, guest, so maybe, okay, and we can just change, so it will add the user in the application. I keep saying user guest in the application, and then this table will show the numbers accordingly. So as you can see here, we have some guests who are confirmed, this is unconfirmed, and these two are also unconfirmed, so it is showing the table accordingly. So say if we could mark this Mo3 confirmed, so these number will change, and plus if we add, then the total number will also change. And the other thing, of course, we can remove the guest. All right, and we can update a guest. Say if we want to update maybe this one, and the data will get put in this, back in this table, and this will change from add user to added guest. Sorry, and also this button will turn into two buttons. So if we want to cancel it, we can just cancel it and won't update anything. And if we do update and maybe change this from vegan to pescatarian and update, and it's gonna update this user guest again. Alright, so but I'm gonna go and put it back whatever it was. Okay, so that's how we update. So the other thing, I want to show you these two filters. So say if we want to show just the attending one, I'm gonna go and mark maybe this one unconfirmed. Okay, so now we have 2 unconfirmed and 3 confirmed, which means 3 are coming. So if we filter on this, if we have this filter on, the only one who are attending this confirmed guests, they will show up. However, the table would still show the exact numbers. Okay, and the other thing, I want to show you this filter where we can just filter our guest with the name. So say if I want to say as Han, so it will show just that one. Okay, so I think that's it. I'm not too sure if I'm missing anything, but yeah, that's the point. These styles, they are accordingly, if it is pescatarian, they are kind of bluish, and then vegan, they are green, and then non-veg, they are blue, and plus these styles. Yeah, so yeah, this is what we are going to make. So for the start, if you want to use the same style and same CSS, because I'm using a custom CSS for this project, so there will be a link to a starter code, and you can of course if you want to click that and get the code to start up. Of course, if you want to do the same, exactly same application, if you just want to watch, of course you don't have to. And the other thing, actually, I just want to quickly show you is, as we are at the moment we are logged in as guest or test. So if I log out and log in with another user, which is going to be a different one, okay, so then we would have different users, because now we are logged in as Idrismo, okay, not as a guest. So now we have different users. So yep, and as I already mentioned about the link, I will provide in the description for startup code. And the other yeah, that's it pretty much. So this is going to be a full stack application. As I already said, this is going to be a MERN stack application. So initially I was going to make just the React application, so which I decided not to. Instead I decided to make a MERN stack. So as I previously said, even if you want to watch this project just for React, you can still watch it, because we're going to start off with the React, and then if you are just watching it for backend, then you can just skip few first part and then just watch the backend. And if you just want to learn about how I did authentication, maybe towards the end. So yeah, there will be a lot to learn, and even if you already know this is going to be slightly fun project, and I'm very excited to show you all those tricks. And another thing which I want to mention is I'll be definitely slow. I will be, because I for some reason, when I'm kind of new to making videos, so when I'm talking and at the same time I'm explaining and typing and coding, I'm kind of slow. So please do change the playback speed if you have to, and if you think I'm too slow. So yeah, please keep this thing in your mind. So, and the other thing which I am going to ask you for a favor, please, and this is going to be a humble request, by the way, consider subscribing to my channel, because I want to make this sort of videos, okay? So I want to make more and more and more, and I want to be part of this. So if you subscribe, it would help me a lot. And of course, if you like the video, and share if you can, please. And yes, and let's start the fun, okay? I'll see you in the next part where we will start coding, okay? Thank you so much. Alright guys, so to start off, I have my VS Code open, and in here I have a folder called party RSVP app, and in this folder I have two more folders, client and server. And as I said previously, I'll be working on client side first, which will be our React application, and then we will do our server side and make our API. And once we're done with our API, we will come back to our client side, and we will integrate our API with the client side, and we will do the authentication as well. Okay, so what I'm gonna go and do is open up VS Code integrated terminal, and I'm gonna go and cd into client folder, and then here I'm going to do npx and here we're going to use create react app and do dot, and this will create a fresh react application in this client folder for us. So it's gonna take few minutes, so what I'm gonna go and do is pause the video, and once it is done I'll come back. Okay, so now we have our react application in this client folder. So what I'm gonna go and do npm and start it. So this is what it looks like now. So alright, so for the first part I'm gonna go and do the UI. However, I will be copy pasting a lot of code because I just don't want to spend too much time on making UI. So it is going to be very simple, and the code will be available, like startup code would be available in the description. So if you guys like to use the same UI, you can definitely download the code and follow along. However, I will show you what I'm doing. Okay, so first I'm gonna go into in this public folder, and in here we're gonna go into this index.html. alright, so I'll check my, so here we are going to change the title. So where it is, so instead of this title I'm gonna go and copy paste my own one, and also I'm going to copy paste a CDN link to Font Awesome, which because we're going to be using some icon in this application. Okay, so these are the only two things in this HTML, sorry, index.html. so next I'm gonna go into source folder, and in the source folder we're gonna go into index.js, sorry, app.css, and then we're going to select everything and delete, and instead what I'm going to do is copy paste my own one. However, this is not the best CSS, but it would work for our application. Okay, so I'm gonna copy paste and close it. Then next we're gonna go into our app.js, and in here we're going to remove everything within this div. Alright, and then we wouldn't need this link because we are not using that logo anymore. So we are also going to remove this app class. The only thing we have here is this div, and for now I'll just put hello world just to check if it is working fine. So that's okay. Alright, so next, as I already said, we will be quickly working on our UI first. So we will be rendering some JSX, and it will be very static anyways. So what I'm going to do is go into the source folder. Okay, and in here I'm gonna go and create a folder called components, and in this components folder I'm gonna go and create one more folder, and this will be layouts. Okay, and in this layouts folder we are going to go and create a file called navbar.js, and here we're going to create a React functional component, so RFAC, because I'm using a snippet. I'll quickly show you just in case if you don't know. So this snippet, so I can just use shorthands with that. Alright, so next I'm gonna go and then again, as I said, I'll copy paste some of it. So what we're going to return is let me just, I could put this code in the disk. I could start up with the UI from the UI, and then, but I just wanted to quickly show you guys what is there. Okay, so in this navbar, what we are basically returning is this one div with the class navbar, and then it has a another div which is logo, and in the logo div we have h1, and within h1 we have an I tag, and then there's a p tag. Okay, and then next we have a ul, and in ul first we have li, and after li we have a span tag, and then we have another li which has an a tag, and within a tag we have a span, then a I tag. Okay, some class names, and some of these class names are from Font Awesome, and some of they are coming from my CSS file. So very simple, very easy. Okay, so I'm trying to just save a little bit of time, because this is going to be a slightly longer project for me, so I don't want to spend too much time here typing this one out. Okay, as it is very simple. Alright, so next we're gonna go here and import our navbar, which we just done. Okay, so that's what I'm doing in navbar, and that's going to be from components, and then layouts, and then navbar. So instead of this hello world, I'm gonna go, actually I'll just keep it there for now. We will do the navbar and save it. I will check our navbar. So here it is. Alright, just maximize. So this is what we have in our navbar. So these styles are coming from our CSS. Okay, so next I'm gonna go back into this component folder, and we're going to create another folder basically, and that folder would be pages. Alright, and in the pages was not in this, so I'll just move this one out. Basically it was meant to be in this component folder. Sorry about that, guys. So in component folders. Okay, in pages we are going to create the first page, which will be home.js. okay, and then we do what I want to do is basically import it. So I'll just copy this one down and change this from to home. That's actually gonna come from pages, and pages, and then and then we will put here, and now we go RFEC, and for now I'll just say just remove this hello world and see if this is, yep, all is okay. Right, so now we're gonna close this, and we're gonna go back into this component folder, and now we're going to create another folder here, and that would be guests. Yeah, that guests, probably just the guests. Okay, and in this guests folder, the first file I want to create is guest, or probably guest form.js. okay, and then we're gonna go and import this form. Okay, and we haven't created, but we're just gonna quickly do this and say guest form, and while I'm here I just want to give it a class name as well, this div. So the class name would be app container dash container actually. So save it, and then we will just go in here, and we are going to do RFAC, and then in here we are going to return a div with h1 and a form. Okay, and I'll just copy paste and quickly explain what it is. So the main div has a class name, invite section, then there's an h1, and then we have a form. Okay, and then in the form we have two inputs. Okay, one for name and the other one for phone, and then we have a p tag, and after that we have an option div, and within option we have basically the main thing is this input, which is type of radio, but we are for the CSS purpose putting inside a label, and there inside a label, and plus there is a span tag. Okay, and then we are copy pasting this two more times for another two radio buttons. Okay, and they have these values: non-veg, vegan, and pescatarian. And after the radio buttons we have a submit button, so which is basically an input with the type of submit, and we have a value add guest, sorry, and then there's a class btn. Alright, and then we just save it and go back and check what we have basically. So this is what we have. Okay, this is our h1, then these are two inputs, three one p tag, and then three radio buttons and one button. Alright, I hope this makes sense. So and I'm gonna go and close it. And one more thing, which before I forget, basically I was supposed to put a div here and put this move this one up in here. I was meant to put this in the another div with the class name main. Okay, and this may look slightly messy just because of my CSS. As I said previously, my CSS is not very great, so you might want to use your own styles or own UI, but the logic of the application would be great and would be very helpful to learn a lot. Right, so next in this guest component I want to create another file called guests counter.js. okay, and then I'm gonna quickly go and put it here, guest counter, and save it, and then we're gonna go in here and do rfac, and this is going to return nothing but just a table. Okay, because we will be showing some numbers, so just this very simple table. Alright, so this has a div, and then in this div we have a table, and then we have a t body tag, and then there's one row which has 3 th. okay, and then there's another row with 1 th and 1 td, sorry, 2 tds, and then we are copy pasting this 1 2 3 more times. Okay, so very simple, simplest one or other of the application, so very easy component. So this is all we're doing in this component, returning a table. Okay, so this is what we get. So now we have form and then table. Alright, so go back, close this, and next in the guest component, guest folder, we're going to create another component, and this would be guest filter, I believe. So guest filter.js. okay, so what I've done, sorry, I think I accidentally created a folder. Now we don't need folder, we need a file, guest filter.js, okay, and then of course we're gonna go and import it again, and then we need to actually put another div here, and this would have a class of filter, and in this div we're going to put our guest filter component. So guest filter, okay, and then we're gonna go into our guest filter and our FAC, and I'm gonna go and copy paste a div, and I will quickly explain what it is. Alright, so this div has a class name toggle for some reason, because this is going to be a toggle button. Okay, so the main thing it has this checkbox. Okay, the other style is again just for this label is and this span is just for the CSS purpose. Okay, and then it has a p tag. The only main two things we need basically is this input and maybe this p tag. Okay, so very simple. And if we go back, this is what we have. Okay, so this button, which is this where is it? Sorry, I'm lost. So which is this input, okay, with the type of checkbox. Alright, and then we have a p tag. So very simple. Again, I'm gonna go and close it, and next we're gonna go again back into guests and then create another file, and this will be guest search.js. alright, so just import it again, and then we will put just below the guest filter guest search, and save it, and then we will do RFEC, and then I'm gonna go and copy paste. This is going to be another very simple one. So all it has this input and an I tag. Okay, so save it, and we go back to our UI. So this is what we have. Right, so this is our input, and this is our I tag. Okay, from Font Awesome. And I'm sorry if I'm talking too low. I hope you can hear me. Alright, so we go back and then again close it. So next we going to have two more components here, guest and guests. Okay, so basically guests will come here in this home.js. we will import, and then within guests we will import our single guest. Okay, so let's just quickly do that. So in here we're going to do guests.js, and I'll just actually copy it down and then change this to guests. Oops, what I've done, I'm sorry. I was meant to do control D. I don't know what happened there. Guests. Okay. Wow. And then we're going to put our guests just below this main div. Okay, so just here. So guests, then we will close it, and we are pretty much done with this home.js. so I'm gonna close it for now, and then we're gonna go into our guests, and here we're going to say RFEC, and and we can give a class name. The class name would be guests, and we are going to, as I said previously, we're going to import our single guest. That's gonna be from guest, okay, which we still have to do, okay. And then we will do guest, and let's create our guest.js. so guest.js, so RFAC, and here we are going to return our single guest. So this is going to have a main div with class guest card, and then we have a div guest card head, and then in the head we have a label, and then there's an I tag, and then there's an input. Alright, and next we have two buttons, okay, and next we have our card body, and in the card body we have this h2 which will have the guest name, okay, and then we have a span which is basically kind of badge for their diet type, okay, and then we have a div with a contact and an I tag which will be a phone, and then a p tag with the phone number, okay, and just save it and see how it looks like. Alright, so this is what we get, okay. I think this should be just, so as I said previously, this is pretty much our starter code, so starter pack. So this will be available in the description, so even if you don't, I don't want you to pause the video and type it down, okay, because I didn't want to do this. So you can just go to the link, and that will take to my GitHub, and then you can just download or clone the starting code, okay. So this is what you will have basically. So I just wanted to show you what is there. I could start from just saying, okay, just download this, but I think that would be probably slightly hard to pick up where is what. So I just wanted to explain a little slightly. I know I could have typed it down, but I'm trying to save a little bit time. Anyways, this is what we have now. So our UI with a form, a table, a checkbox, and then there's an input, and then we have this guest component which has this checkbox again, and then there are two buttons, and then this h1 and p, and then this span tag, okay. So very simple application, but we are going to learn a lot, because as I said, this is going to be a full stack application. So however, as I previously said, even though if you don't want to learn about MERN and you don't want to do the back end, we will be doing their front end first, so which means we will do our React application first. So even if you want to do just that, you would be fine, or even if you want to skip the React and do the just API one and just the back end, you can follow along too. So for now it is not doing anything. We can't add, remove, and we can't really interact with it. We can't do anything. It's just the static components, okay. So all it is doing is this, returning these components, so nothing fancy. So from the next video we will be working on our application, and we will put some logic into our application, okay. So I will see you in the next part, and by the way, please remember to subscribe, and this will help me a lot, okay. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next part.